In the heart of Rajasthan, the ruins of Bhangarh Fort stand frozen in time, surrounded by silent hills and broken stone walls that have watched centuries pass. The legend began in the 17th century, when Bhangarh was a living palace city of carved sandstone halls, flickering oil lamps, silk curtains, and royal courtyards alive with music and torchlight. It is said a powerful sorcerer became obsessed with a beautiful princess who walked these halls. When she uncovered his dark magic and rejected him, he cursed the palace with his final breath, swearing that no soul would ever live here in peace again. Centuries later, a group of friends came searching for answers. They arrived in the late afternoon with forced laughter and nervous excitement, pretending they weren't scared. Their hands shook slightly as they adjusted their backpacks. Their voices sounded too loud in the empty air. The fort towered above them, cracked domes and broken gateways glowing in the fading light. Warning signs stood ignored behind them as they stepped inside. As the sun slipped behind the hills, the sky burned a deep orange. The temperature dropped so quickly, their breath began to fog in front of their faces. The air felt thick, heavy, wrong, like the place was watching them. Jokes turned into whispers. Smiles faded into tight, tense silence. Then they heard it. Footsteps that echoed but never showed a source. And soft, distant laughter. Slow, amused, and unmistakably female. Their hearts began to race. Their palms grew damp. Fear twisted into curiosity. Against their instincts, they followed. The deeper they walked, the heavier their dread became. When they turned back, the massive iron gates were no longer open. They were locked. Panic hit instantly. Breathing turned shallow. One of them began to cry quietly. Another whispered that they shouldn't have come. The walls seemed to lean inward. The darkness felt alive. Not around them, inside their heads. Shadowy shapes formed along the cracked walls. Pale faces emerged from the stone itself. These were the spirits of the fort. Guards, servants, travelers, trapped since the 17th century for breaking the rule. The temperature dropped until their hands went numb. Goosebumps covered their skin. The figures moved closer, close enough to touch. They stumbled through twisted corridors, breath ragged, legs shaking, tears streaming down terrified faces. The fort felt endless, like it was changing as they ran. Shadows chased them. Cold fingers almost brushed their shoulders. Just before sunrise, they found a collapsed section of the outer wall and escaped. They fell into the sand outside, shaking, unable to speak. But when they looked back, they saw them, figures standing in the arches, watching them, waiting. The curse of Bhangarh Fort isn't gone. Would you dare to stay inside Bhangarh Fort after dark? Subscribe to TacoNight Mysteries for more true horror legends and terrifying stories.